r/ask Reddit. What's something you're glad your friend introduced you to? He introduced me to his closest friends. All really great people. Now we all have good times together and share so many things of mutual interest. It's really opened up my world in a way I hadn't previously thought possible. That's beautiful. The best gift anyone can get is new friends. Or maybe second best, a flamethrower would be pretty damn hard to beat. New music. It's always hard for me to figure out what I like, and they helped give me so much from the experiences I got out of it. Same. I don't have much musical culture, and thanks to them I could discover some lesser known artists and new genres. Themselves. My friend introduced me to pineapples. Now I like pineapples more than my friends. I feel like everything I like was introduced. I'm shit at discovering things on my own. But I'll say sushi. I was always the guy who gave people the Karen stare because they ate raw food. Until one day my friend told me to shut up and just try a piece. Now I'm planning to gorge myself on sushi as soon as the lockdown ends. The fact that you can cook your eggs in your noodles while you're boiling them. My new technique is to undercook the noodles. Crack the eggs into the pot. Bring to high boil for a second. Take off heat. Cover and let sit for 3.5 minutes. Perfection every time. How do you do it? Not OP. But my parents do the same thing. Tastes especially nice with instant ramen. The best thing I got out of my business and economics degree was when my friend gave me a John Mayer CD back in 2002. Literally the reason I started playing guitar. Now it's my career. I love John Mayer. Are you a solo artist? How are you holding up ETH current situation? All my live gigs gone. Been really tough actually, as likely for rest of the year. Just trying to adapt. Gotta pivot to video, doing live stream gigs and pre-recorded video. Also I'm trying to keep perspective. People in poor nations have been hit so much harder. So I'm very grateful that we have all that we need. D&D. I would have never played otherwise, and it's so much fun. Same. For years my friend from university suggested we play D&D during a weekend. Every time, I shot him down. Pretending to be an orc or an elf or whatever the duck wasn't my idea of a good time. Then a couple of years ago someone I was dating introduced me to it, and it was dope. Kill some goblins, eat some cheese, drink some beers. I'm not sure if it was the fact that I was older or the fact that I'd finally got over myself a little bit, but I got way into it, like a file of notes thicker than some novels into it. I finally got a chance to DM for the friend who'd kept pushing it all those years ago. We are at opposite ends of the country now, and it was incredibly fun. Even with the 10,000 what I told you so grin he had the whole time. A friend of mine accidentally introduced me to the Hitachi magic wand when I was helping her move, and it dropped out of one of the boxes. She was entirely nonplussed. I think she laughed and said, "My baby." I was somewhat of a prude at the time and was suitably scandalized at her being so open about having sex toys, especially the kind that you had to actually plug in like a duck-in kitchen appliance. Yep, that lasted all of 30 seconds after I bought one for myself on her later recommendation. Hoo boy. The cordless, chargeable wand is a great upgrade. Minecraft. I was mid-20s and they spent years trying to get me to play, but I thought it was a kid's game. I finally played one day and loved it so much that I spent the next 4 years way more into it than they ever were. There are just so many ways to play. You can treat it like a kid's game. You can play it like a kid. You can be an architect. You can be an engineer. Literally anyone can find something that interests them. My friend introduced me to the definition of narcissistic personality disorder. I was going through a lot with my family and constantly being gaslighted. She sent me articles all about it, and I never felt more relieved to know I wasn't insane and I was actually being severely manipulated. Buying better clothes. I used to buy everything at Goodwill even though I saved up enough money to spend it. Nothing matched and it didn't fit properly. Eventually my friend took me out, told me to take some pride in my looks, and bought me new clothes. Looking back, I look like the definition of a poor virgin. Thanks Adam. Goodwill and thrift shops in general can have great stuff. You just have to be able to recognize quality. I got a $1,000 tuxedo for $9. Although I'd been a lifelong Stephen King fan, I had always avoided the Dark Tower series. A friend kept pushing me on them, insisting I would love them. Stephen King cowboys? No thanks. Finally he bought me the first 4 in a paperback gift set. Series is now one of my favorite reads of all time. I can't thank him enough for insisting. Current work. Great series. I've been on book 4.5 for too long though. Got distracted by that lame thing called college. Hope to start it up again and finish it soon now that I've graduated. Stardew Valley. It changed my perspective on a lot of things surprisingly, like turning children into doves. It can be productive. My friend very recently got me into the game and I now have over 40 hours in the span of 2 busy weeks. It's taught me about what spending money to make money truly means. Spending 40k on blueberries and making 200k by the end of the month. Not putting sugar in my coffee. Dude, every time I try to drink coffee black I think alright, this is going to bitter as all ducking hell, and I am going to be 100% prepared and it won't be that bad. Then I take a sip and it's way more bitter than I expected. Then I say okay, it's pretty bitter, I know. The next sip can't be as bitter and it still is. Anime. Was finally able to grow out a beard but for some reason it's just growing around my neck. I got one of my friends into JoJo and she loved it up until part 4, which made me sad because 4 is one of my personal favorites. I got another friend into Watch E7 and that was a blast. I still wish E7 got a sequel. AO does not count. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Noiny Noiny. D&D. After initially disliking it after my first session, I'm so glad I gave it another go. It's really helped me start getting creative with things again. Plus it's keeping us busy during quarantine. Our group just finished a campaign I joined on the tail end of and I'm really excited to be part of the new long-term campaign from the very beginning. The Smashing Pumpkins. Before that my taste in music and what I listened to was wholly dictated by my brother and his elitism. My friend really opened my mind and I feel like when I first heard Today it was when I came of age. It really was the greatest day. Harry Potter. I was in my 20s when the series was released. I figured that it was some dumb kid's books. He bought me the first 4 books. When I finally got around to reading them, I was hooked. My enjoyment has outlasted the friendship. I hope that he's doing well. I love dive bars. I used to go to them and read. I was reading the 4th book in a biker bar in northern Minnesota. There was a group of a dozen bikers, all wearing the same vest. The tall guy in the middle yelled over at me, "Hey, what are you reading?" I yelled back, "Him. Did you get to the part where, spoilers redacted?" And that is how I had a 15-minute conversation in a biker bar about Harry Potter, and received several free beers. My girlfriend. Though to be honest, I'd probably try to meet her regardless of if I had someone to make the introduction. League of Legends. 10 years later and I still hop on weekly to get called a ducking piece of shit bronze scrub that should kill myself. My Hero Academia and Demon Slayer. Before meeting my friend, I've never watched anime. Thai food. My friend's parents had been stationed in Thailand for the Peace Corps. We went to a Thai restaurant and it blew my mind. There is a god and he's Thai and he wants us to be happy was all I could think after my first bite. Bass. My friends played drums and guitar and they needed a bassist. I have never touched any instrument before and I didn't know anything about music, but they really wanted me in the band so I tried it and to this day I play hours and hours on my baby. It's the best thing ever. Podcasts. I had listened to a few episodes of a metal show on my Zune HD years ago and thought the format was neat, like radio on demand. It wasn't until my friend recommended checking out a history podcast on Spotify years later that I really got into it. Now I listen to them daily, probably more than music. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.